Hi there, my name is Fondue and I talk about the tabletop role-playing game industry, usually from a higher level, but today I'm going to be going more nuts and bolts as I discuss the GM screen for Foundry VTT. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down there, and let's get started then, shall we? So as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about a module for Foundry VTT called the DM screen. Now this video assumes that you already know what Foundry is, you know how to use Foundry, and you're familiar with it. This isn't a Foundry 101 video. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and look at this module. I'm going to be showing you how it works, and then how I have set it up myself for the way that I use it in my games. So this is the page for the module that I mentioned called GM Screen. I'm going to be putting a link down below for you to be able to check it out. And here we can see the GM screen, a short description of it, and how it works. There's an example here of how it's going to look, and you're just going to be able to download this and install it just like you do with any normal Foundry module. Now, I use the Forge to host my Foundry games. You might be doing it differently, so how you install your module is going to be different for everyone. Let's jump over to Foundry and let's see how this thing works. So we're now here in my Foundry setup. This is the Foundry setup for my Dice and Easy campaign, which airs every second Saturday on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/funwithfondue. Link to all the episodes there in the description. But this is the scene that I use, and the first thing that you're gonna do is make sure that the module is turned on, because very often you might download a Foundry module and then you're like, why isn't it working? Forgot to turn it on. So we go to the top right-hand corner here with the cog wheels. Let me just zoom in so you can get a better look over here. We click that, and then we go to manage modules, and in manage modules over here you can then scroll down to find GM screen over here and just click that on. It's already on for me, and then you go to save module settings, and that will most likely restart your Foundry instance to make sure that it is turned on. So now that we've made sure that the plugin is installed, then let's see what this module looks like. And by the way, thank you to the commenter who commented to ask me to make this video. Now over here on the lower right hand side of the screen, you're going to see a new tab called GM Screen. Click that and boom, you see this open in front of you. Let me zoom out so you see the whole thing. There. It's going to take about half of your screen or so, and it's going to be quite big, but remember that you can always just pop it back down by here on the right hand side by clicking it back up and clicking it down and back up. When you open it, of course, this is going to be completely empty, and you get to customize this in any way that you want. Now, the way that I have this set up is that on my first tab, I have my campaign. So this is all of my campaign related stuff, notes, information about the campaign, etc. I have sectioned this off into 4 columns, as you can see here, and this column is split in 2 as well. Now, how that works is if you want to add a new tab, what you're going to want to do is right-click on the top right here. That's going to open a little window. It is currently hidden by the GM screen, so I'm going to pop that down. And here we can see all the tabs that we have created, or I have created rather. And you can reorder them here. If I wanted to change where deities is, regards to voices, I can do that, just swapping them around. If we want to add a new one, click add. We're gonna call this test, for example. And here you can decide how many columns and rows you're going to have. So we could have say 5 columns and 2 rows. Save changes, boom. And now when we open this, we're going to see a new tab called Test, and if we go there, what do you know? It's of course empty currently, but it has 5 columns and 2 rows. And then for each of these, there's a little cog wheel where you can also do cell configurations as well if you want to, but this should usually get you what you want. Now, if you want to have stuff here in the columns or these little squares, you're just going to want to go over here to the right hand side, and you're going to go to your journal entries. Now here in the journal entries, you're going to be able to put in any journal entry here that you want. So if I want to put in, let's say, one of my handouts, there's the alchemist note from the campaign, I can just drag and drop it here, boom, now it's there. And by default, these are not shared with your players, so you can just add stuff here as you want, and your players will not see this. If you want to get rid of something here, just click the little X, it's gone. And that's the basics of how this module works. It's very simple, but very powerful. I find this to be an incredibly useful incredibly useful module for when I run games on Foundry. So the way that I have this set up, I'll show you how I've set things up here and what I find useful. So I have the campaign tab, as I first mentioned. Here on the left and right, in the first two columns, I have chapters from the adventure. So this is a pre-made adventure that I'm running. I have them here for the two ones that I'm going to need next. I can scroll down here to see what's going on each of them. By the way, if you're my player, don't watch this. So you can see here and read these whenever you need. Then here on the third column, I have my session notes. Here I have the session notes and how everything is going to go for the session. I have what I have prepared for. By the way, if you want to see how I prepare sessions for my games, let me know in the comments. Would love to talk about that. So here I can see my notes, scroll about them. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. And then on the very right-hand side, the last column, I have a little player character session start prompts that I could use. I haven't used them currently in this campaign. I use them in another one. But I think it's a really nice thing to do in my other campaign to get my players into the right headspace, to ask them a question at the start of the session. It could be like, are you a good liar? And then they answer for their character. And then here is a conversion notes, because the campaign is set in another universe, so I convert it to the Exandria universe. So that is it for the first tab. The second tab is abilities and skills. So this is just a little cheat sheet I found online, and it has all of the abilities and skills that are related to them. So intelligence has arcana, history, nature, religion, and here you can see, you know, different scales of difficulty for them. We got wisdom, charisma, dexterity, constitution, strength. All of them over here. So this is just a quick cheat sheet in case I need to ever check it. And we got conditions and states. Here we have all the conditions and states on the right-hand side. Character advancement, size categories, random encounter chances, weather, NPC names, locations. This I also found online as I did this. So here we have weapons, the usual weapons for D&D that you can see here, their prices, etc., armor and shields, goods and services, languages, and you can put your player characters here if you wanted to. Next tab, combat. So here are combat descriptions. So if I'm describing combat and someone takes a specific type of damage, I can just go through this and see how I would describe that damage to make it a little bit more nuanced and different. And this is made by Oh Hi Mark on Reddit, so thank you for that. And then I have a tab also for voices. So this is a voice acting reference. So here you could roll a D100. You could also put this as a table in Foundry if you wanted to, but I just have it here as this page, and I can just check like what type of voice do I want to give someone, and this is a useful cheat sheet that I use sometimes. Then I have the deities of Exandria. So this is just a quick one for me when I'm like, who are the deities again? I can just come over here and quickly check this to see who they really are. And some limitations on this. So if you create these cells and you put, for example, an image in here, if the image is very long but not very wide, it's going to look quite small and you cannot open it to view it closer. But you know, it's a really good module. I really enjoy it. So there you have it. That's how I've set up the GM screen in Foundry for myself to use. If you found this useful, hit that like and subscribe button down there and let me know what you thought about this module. Again, the link for the module is down there also in the description if you want to download it and install it for Foundry yourself. It is a great piece of tech for Foundry. Again, it's only for Foundry VTT. And I stream every Monday and Wednesday on twitch.tv/funwithfondu, where I discuss D&D and tabletop RPGs, so come hang out with me if you would like to discuss those in real time with myself. Link for that also down there in the description. And at this time, you're also going to see a video of mine on the screen, and you should definitely check that out. It's a good one. And hey, thank you very much for checking out this video. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep it dice and easy. Bye.